Hello, assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, my dear all friends. Today our lesson is about degree of adjectives. Before beginning our lesson, do not forget to like and also subscribe my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about degree of adjective. But before talking about degree of adjective, let's talk that what is an adjective. A simple definition for adjective: that adjective is a word or adjective is a part of a speech which modify or describe a noun or pronoun. It can describe a person, place, thing, and either because they all can be a noun or pronoun. For example, in this sentence, Ahmad is a nice guy. In this sentence, which we use nice to describe the noun, which is Ahmad. In this sentence, we can call nice an adjective because we use in this place this word to describe our noun. And now on, let's talk about a degree of adjective. In English language, there are 3 degrees for all adjectives. Why do we use from degree of adjective? We use adjectives degree or degree of adjective when we want to compare things with each other. There are 3 degrees for adjective. The first one is positive degree, comparative degree, and also superlative degree. But be aware of one thing, that in positive degree of adjective, we cannot compare nouns with each other. We only use positive degree when we want to describe the nouns. For example, Ali is small. In this place, we only describe Ali, which is a small. But in comparative degree, we use adjectives to compare 2 things with each other. For example, Ali is smaller than Ahmad. In this place, we use the small, or we use comparative adjective to compare Ali with Ahmad. 2 nouns, 2 places, 2 things, or 2 persons with each other. The next degree of adjective is called superlative adjective. We use superlative adjectives when we want to compare more than 2 things, or 2 persons, 2 places, or 2 things with each other. For example, Ali is the smallest by in this class. It means we compared Ali with all the students in my class. And now let's talk about the ways of converting positive adjective to comparative and also to superlative. There should be a lot of rules to change simply positive degree to comparative and also superlative. First, let's talk about syllable adjective. First, we're talking about the rules for one syllable adjective. What are syllable? Syllable is a syllable. We can call syllable as a part of a language which is smaller than a word and bigger than a sound. It is called a syllable. And why do we use? How can we classify, consider, or how can we analyze that? How many syllables does an adjective has? We easily can identify or recognize or consider as a word, a syllable, by clapping. It means if we are going to have one clap, it means that an adjective only has one syllable. And in case of many more claps, it means that those adjectives can have more than one syllables. First, let's talk about adjectives that you're ending with without e, without any consonant, with a vowel sound, and also without the other letters. The simple adjective. The simple adjective, for example, the positive degree of small is small. When you want to change it to comparative adjective, in comparative adjective, we usually add an er at the end of our adjective, when they are one syllable, to change it from positive to comparative. A small, a smaller. And est in superlative form, a small, and also a smallest. Same like that, cold, colder, and coldest. But those adjectives, note, those adjectives that they are one syllable and they are ending with a consonant and they are followed with a vowel letter, those adjectives are going to be changed a little bit different. For example, we need to double the consonant at the end, and we need to add an er at the end of the adjective to change them from positive form to comparative form, and est to superlative form, big, bigger, and biggest. And when adjectives are ending with e, we are only going to add an or at the end of them to change them from positive to comparative, and st to change them from comparative to superlative, fine, and also finest. Well, what about those 2 syllable adjectives that they are ending with y? Those 2 syllable adjectives that they are ending with y, we need to change y to I and e, and we are only going to add an r for comparative and st for superlative. Lazy, lazier, laziest. Same like that we can say noisy, noisier, noisiest, and also same like that we can say dirty, dirty, and also dirtiest. The next regulation or rule for adjective with more than one syllable. What about those adjectives that it has more than one or two syllables? For example, interesting. We consider this interesting. This adjective has more than one syllable. So, in case of changing this kind of adjective from positive to comparative or superlative, we need to add a more to change them to comparative form, and the most to change them to superlative form. Interesting, more interesting, and the most interesting. And there are also some irregular adjectives that they are not following the rules that we studied, and we also can call them as a common exception. For example, good, better, best, bad, worse, worst, and for, further, or further, and further, and for the rest. Same like that, we also have much more, most, and also a little less and less. And it was our today's lesson about adjectives degree. I hope you enjoyed, and also I hope you learned some new things from today's lecture. And do not forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Wish you all the best. Take care of yourself. Be blessed. Allah Hafiz.